away in the last 5 matches, two defeats and 2 draws. They've fallen away. So I reckon it's between Arsenal and Man City. Arsenal 3 games left, Man City 4 games left, Arsenal a point ahead. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Paul, I think it was pretty much between a two-horse race after Wednesday night. Wednesday night, Everton, of course, beat Liverpool 2-0 in the Merseyside derby. I think everyone associated with Liverpool felt that was it then for them. I think they went 3 points behind Arsenal at that stage, or more even. And they drew 2-2 against West Ham on Saturday. To have any glimmer of hope, they had to win that game. They drew it. They conceded again first. That's a trait that Liverpool fans will tell you all about. They seem to be conceding the first goal in nearly every match they've been playing lately. It seems to be a common team to take a long time, particularly in the first half, to get going. They got it up to 2-1. They were leading, and then, but the thing with Liverpool is, I find they've never really been settled at the back all season, and they gave away another. It was a good goal from West Ham's point of view, but poor enough goal from Liverpool. So, yeah, I think Klopp more or less has conceded the title. So it's a two-horse race. Arsenal, they've had a fantastic week. They battled Chelsea in my own club. They were 5-0, and it was more. I think it was more of Chelsea's performance than Arsenal. But I think Arsenal just brushed us aside on Tuesday night, and then heading into the North London derby. It was being billed as probably the biggest North London derby in a long, long time, Paul. I say probably the last big one was probably 20 years ago when ended the 2-2 draw that secured Arsenal their last title in 2004. But for Arsenal, they just swept Tottenham aside in the first half. I mean, I couldn't believe when I heard it was 3-0 3-0 to Arsenal away from home at Tottenham in the North London derby. And to be honest with you, Paul, Tottenham, I would say the one area that Tottenham have struggled all season is set pieces. And the one area that Arsenal have been thriving on is set pieces. So you would assume that Tottenham would have some sort of set piece practice or whatever the hell you would say, because Arsenal are lethal from set pieces. And 2 of their goals came from set pieces. First goal, an own goal by Højbjerg, header into his own net. I don't know exactly what he was trying to do, but it was a bit under pressure. But he got the guy's header all wrong. I actually thought it was an Arsenal player that hit it in, but it wasn't. It was a Tottenham player. Second goal, Paul, a little bit of controversy. I feel Kuzeski, the Tottenham player, is on the edge of the box. I do think it was clipped. I'd say in the replays it was clipped. But to be honest with you, Paul, he was probably too honest. He tried to stay on his feet and he sort of fell over after about 3 or 4 paces. But then the referee must have thought that he was trying to get the penalty kick. I think he was less honest, like a lot of other players would be, if he went straight down and just like a lot of professionals do. If you get any contact in the box at all, go down and make the referee make a decision. But he didn't, and Arsenal went on the break. This high line that Tottenham play is suicidal, particularly against a team like Arsenal. But Saka, the pace they have, Martinelli. I know Martinelli might have started with Trossard. Havertz is quick as well. Saka got the second goal. Ben Davies didn't show him down the line. They cut inside 2-0. Havertz scored the third goal from a set piece, corner kick, literally a couple of yards off the line. I think what a lot of Tottenham fans have been saying is Vicario.
I know, if we're cutting across you, and I don't mean to be cutting across you. With the goals that Arsenal have got in the last 2 games, that has given them an advantage in the goal difference, because that's crucial. Because if Man City would say draw a game, then they'll be level in points, and it could go down to goal difference. So, but by my reading of that table, correct me if I'm wrong, there was 7 goal difference better than Man City. That could be crucial. They've got a good. Even though Man City got 4 or 5 against Brighton, but still Arsenal 2 tough games against 2 London teams, and they got big scores. That could be crucial.
It could have even been better, Paul, because I think they fell away in the second half a little bit. Arsenal, I think they were cruising in the second half, and they gave up 2 very cheap goals. The first goal was a very cheap goal with goalkeeping mistake. Second goal was a penalty that, it was on the 84th, 85th minute, I think it was. I don't know how the referee missed it. He was right in front of him. I think even the commentary said penalty straight away. But lucky enough, VAR was there to bail him out, and it was a clear penalty. Arsenal were hanging on near the end, but they got the job done. And then it was on to Manchester City. Then a few hours later on, the half-hour kickoff. Forest, to be fair, Paul, I know you've been a Forest fan. I thought they gave good account of themselves against the Manchester City side, but
no, I come in there. No, look, we'll talk about this around. We're doing a bond games.
Yeah. But I thought City didn't look comfortable at all. Yes, and what I saw, the Forest had Chris Wood at least had 2 brilliant chances. He misconnected nearly every shot he had. He was had one of those days, Paul, where he couldn't hit a barren door. But
don't even know if you look at Manchester City's form, they're getting the wins, 5 wins in a row. They hammered Brighton during the week. There was 2 games, so they're still getting the wins. But I know Arsenal are keeping up with them, but they're getting the wins consistently, and they have 4 games to go. So they'll surely win 3 out of them 4. So Arsenal will have to keep winning all the last 3 games, I think.
They would have to, Paul, because Haaland came off the bench and it was 1-0 at the time when he came on, and he made a huge difference. He got the second goal, good goal, and that settled things down for Manchester City. They didn't play well, but as you said yourself, they're getting the wins. This is what City do, Paul, to be honest with you. They don't necessarily always start very well. It's only around March or April when they really kick in. And they're starting to kick in right now, because if you look at that one red spot on Arsenal, that was the home loss to Villa. And of course City had beaten, I think, Luton 5-1 the day before. Now at the weekend, Arsenal play Bournemouth at the 12:30 kickoff, and then City have to respond in at the 5:30 kickoff against Wolves at home. The only thing is, I would say though, Paul, is City's toughest game on paper. We're just looking ahead. City's toughest game, I would say, is Tottenham away. Now that's going to be a funny one, Paul, because Tottenham, their fans were absolutely raging, I say, by half time, and at the end when the final whistle blew, because the one thing that Tottenham do not want, and I suppose most London clubs, to be quite honest, Chelsea included, I suppose, to be honest, they don't want Arsenal to win the title. They can't. All the London clubs sort of have that hatred of each other, to be quite honest with you, and it's going to be a weird one, because it'd be the Tottenham game.
Spurs want to finish 5th. They have to get it through. They're almost there, but Manchester United technically, even though in form, they won't catch them. They're 6 points clear them, but they want to make sure of 5th place anyway. So they need a few results to finish it off.
They would, but I think it's going to be a funny atmosphere in that game, Paul, to be quite honest, because Tottenham have Chelsea away now and they have Liverpool away, so they could go on a really bad run the way things are going. They never seem to win the Stamford Bridge, and I hope that continues on Thursday night. And then they've got Liverpool, I think, on Sunday, as far as I can remember. So it's going to be a weird one, Paul, to be quite honest, because that was a big game for Tottenham. I don't care what anyone says. That was a time where all their fans wanted was just a draw or a win, in terms of obviously going for 4th place, which they look very, very doubtful now, because considering the fixtures they have ahead of them, but also the Arsenal were going for the title. Arsenal rolled in, went 3-0 up. They put up a bit of a fight back in the second half, but at the end of the day, they meant nothing, because they still lost to Arsenal, and they've always had that bickering rivalry between each other in terms of the players and fans. So I was speaking to a United fan. I'd just gone to United. I know there are 54 or 34 games played. Manchester United have to play Arsenal at their last home game of the season, and I was just chatting to a few United fans, and they were saying the title race is coming down between Arsenal and Liverpool and City, and they were saying if Arsenal were the only team lifting it, for example, which would you rather choose? They said definitely Arsenal besides City or Liverpool, but that means you might have to lose the game at home. And they said, yeah, we're comfortable with that. So that's the hatred. Like, United do not want City to win the title, for example. So that's the fans' mindset. Now the players have to be professional, Paul, to be fair. But I'm telling you, there's going to be some strange atmospheres in some of those games where literally the home fans don't want their home team to win. I'm not saying it's right.
That's not all fans, no. In fairness,
if
you go over there and you pay big bucks, and no matter where you come from, you travel there, and you pay your tickets, and you want your match program, you want your team to win when you go in there. You know what I mean? In fairness, now that's not all fans. That's a minority of fans.
Oh, it's not all fans, Paul, but it's definitely there, though. I mean, if you talk to some fans, it's definitely there. Like United fans, definitely, because when Liverpool were still in the title race, that game was being talked about. That's where United don't want to see Liverpool or City win the league, and the best of a bad lot would be Arsenal. So but I'm telling you, that's the rivalry between a lot of fans. They don't want to see other ones doing well, particularly Liverpool with United and Arsenal with Tottenham. So it's definitely in the background, Paul, is all I'm saying. But getting back to the game, I think City and Arsenal, they've been 80 points. It hasn't been City haven't been as good as they were last year, the year before, but they're still getting the results, as you said. And I do feel with the results, with the games they have left, they should win every one. It's just whether they could, Fulham away. Fulham are a very funny side, Paul. They beat West Ham 5-0.
Fulham have nothing to play for now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean with that?
Yeah, they have, and on Arsenal side as well, the Bournemouth, United, and Everton. I think they'll definitely win the 2 games at home. So I'm thinking, it's the thing is, I saw on Sky the few clips on Sky. Arsenal, it's almost like unfortunate that they're up against this machine in Manchester City. Liverpool have had heartbreak as well. Arsenal fell away last season, but they're still banging right at it now. No, they've 35 games played. They've won 25, they've already drawn and lost 5. So 80 points. To think that Arsenal could get to 89 points and still not win the title. Is a bit of a sucker punch for him. But sure, look, Liverpool lost the title with 97. So if you ask me to call it, Paul, I'd say Manchester City. I just think they'll have enough, but they're not playing as well as they have been in the past few years. But they're still, as you said, getting the results, and they have the experience. They have to know. They've been here so many times before. They're going for 4-0. It hasn't been done before in English football. I've correct me if I'm wrong there, Paul.
No, never done. No,
never done. So they're going for a bit of history, and they're going for the double as well. Just not forget they're the cup final against United. So I just think Pep will not rest on his laurels at all. He won't be happy with that performance they put in the second half with all the chances they had given up against them. So I think he'll rectify that. They've got Wolves. I think they should beat Wolves. The Tottenham against these one, how Tottenham approaches the fans, the players, that's going to be the big one, Paul, to be quite honest with you, because I think that's the only one. They have a terrible record in that stadium now for getting the league. I think the only game they've won there has been an FA Cup game and won 1-0, and they're struggling in that as well, big time. So if there's a slip up there, it's probably against Tottenham away. But then again, it all depends on what sort of atmosphere, motivation, and if Tottenham have anything to play for as well. Let's not forget, if Tottenham go on a bad run, if they lose against Chelsea, if they lose against Liverpool, Tottenham won't have a Champions League place to play for at all. And like 5th or 6th, it doesn't really matter. You still get into the Europa League either way, as far as I remember. 7th is the Conference League. So it all depends on the motivation what Tottenham have to play for. You mentioned Fulham have nothing to play for. By the end of it, Tottenham might be solid in 5th or 6th Europa League place. They won't be.
Yeah, just before we finish up that, and Aston Villa guaranteed 4th. They're almost guaranteed 4th.
They have, Paul. But it all depends. If Tottenham were to win these 2 very, very tough games against Chelsea and Liverpool, they're right back in it, but they have to win them.
Yeah.
And I think Thursday night will tell a lot. If Chelsea beat Tottenham, I think that's probably it for Tottenham for Champions League.
Or even a draw is no good for them, because even a draw they'll be 6 points behind. Yeah, when you have a game in hand.
And Tottenham are going to a stadium, and has been on as Chelsea are over the years. Tottenham have only won 1 game at Stamford Bridge since 1990. Yeah. So for 34 years, they've won at the place once. Yeah. So that's a huge ask.
All right. Okay, we'll leave that in.